Today we'll be airing our special series about international human resources management. This series talks about global talent management and looks into the benefits and challenges of the topic.
Before we get to our special, we now tune in with our reporter Clemens in the field with our director.
Thank you for tuning in again. Tonight we have a very special guest with us. His name is Sebastian, and he has just gained international fame with his documentary about global talent management. So, Sebastian, how are you tonight?
Thank you for having me here. I'm great.
Sebastian, so when you were talking about the core principles, I noticed two terms that I'm very interested in. So first is internal consistency. What do you mean by that?
Okay, yeah, good question. So as you know, the best HR marketing is done through satisfied employees. Companies that stick to their promises when hiring employees create a positive impression.
Okay, that's very interesting. And the other point is, so HR branding, which I also interpret as company branding.
Exactly.
What do you mean by that?
Okay, essentially, a company must advertise itself to recruit the best talent and must be attractive to retain these employees.
Thank you very much, Sebastian. So now let's get back to the studio and see what our anchorman has to say.
Okay. Welcome back. Thank you, Clemens and Sebastian. We appreciate your time with us.
Global talent management can be applied in various contexts and fields. This special will look into challenges and benefits of global talent management. Enjoy.
What is global talent management? Global talent management refers to the systematic use of specific human resource policies and practices to manage the several challenges that a firm confronts. What makes global talent management unique is that you need to take into consideration various cultural and geographical aspects. Without a doubt, challenges may arise when managing people from all around the world. Global talent management helps companies recruit, hire, develop, and retain great talent in order to achieve the company's goals. Some crucial questions to answer when taking a look at your company's global talent management practices are: how can you best attract talents from various countries with your HR branding? How can you effectively develop your pool of international talent? How can you raise satisfaction and ensure employee retention? How do successful companies deal with the challenges of global talent management? Researchers have formulated 6 core principles that most multinationals use for global talent management. 1. Alignment with strategy. Corporations look for talented individuals who can make a meaningful impact to their business. This is done through dedicated HR marketing. Talent management is regarded as an important factor in determining an organization's strategy. 2. Internal consistency. Companies that stick to their promises when hiring employees create a positive impression. 3. Cultural embeddedness. Promote your culture inside the company through training and team building activities. This ensures that you hire people who best fit the company's culture and follow their core values. 4. Management involvement. Involve the entire management team, not just HR, to be a part of the hiring process. This way, they too can define the strategies. 5. Balance of global and local needs. Most companies face challenges on both global and local level, so it's important not to forget about developing local talent while you search for global talent. Human resource management branding is number 6. The job market can be viewed in some ways as a real market, where a company must advertise itself to recruit the best talent. Nowadays, the trend we see is a convergence of practices among multinationals because of 2 main factors. 1. The need for consistency between external and internal practices, and 2. The need for a standardization of approaches to best fit the job market. There are 3 major global talent management challenges. Globalization. With an ever-shrinking world, attracting and retaining top talent becomes difficult. Demographics. Average age gap between the population in developed and developing nations threatens available educated talent. Demand and supply of competent workers. There is a growing need for employees who are willing to do the job under new and changing conditions that require the development of additional competencies. Before going into detail about the challenges of globalization, it is important to take a look at the general definition. Globalization is the development of an increasingly integrated global economy marked especially by free trade, free flow of capital, and the tapping of cheaper foreign labor markets. There is an increasing gap between the salaries of individuals in developed and developing countries. Customers are continually demanding better products at lower prices, which is why companies will try to exploit these global wage advantages. Did you know that the total value of world trade increased from $89 billion in 1953 to more than $10 trillion in 2008? Due to fierce competition, companies have to innovate in order to stay ahead of the game. Nowadays, employees, especially those with high potential, demand higher compensation and are less locally bound. It is important to bring attention to the fact that changing demographics is a major driver of global talent management challenges. The major threat here is that the population of developed countries is often shrinking. This wouldn't be an issue, except for the fact that education, technology, and infrastructure of developed countries is on average much better than those of developing countries. So while, for example, Germany is getting older and older, Uganda is getting younger. Come to think of it, the average age of a German is 42, while the average age of a Ugandan is 15. There is an increasing demand for workers with a high level of competency. Nearly every day, new jobs are being created that require a higher level of technical competencies. In addition to the increased need for basic skills and advanced skills, there is a need for jobs that require knowledge work. In general, knowledge workers can be defined as high-level workers who apply theoretical and analytical knowledge acquired through formal training to develop products and services. Drucker, the creator of this term, describes these types of people as the most valuable asset of the 21st century due to their high level of productivity and creativity. In some regions, we are currently facing a surplus of competent workers. This can result in wage competition and eventually an increased need for government support. There are many different ways to tackle the problems described thus far. If you want to get the best result out of these strategies, you need to combine several of them together. The first possible solution to address global talent management challenges is location planning and relocation management. So, how do you tackle the problem? The answer is very simple. Either you get the best people to come to you, or you get up and go to them. Firms must also consider other factors, such as taxes, infrastructure, currency fluctuations, government incentives, political stability, culture, construction costs, competitors, suppliers, customers, and energy or water supplies. It is also important to keep in mind that you are not the only company looking to relocate. Ensure that while you do try to attract new people to your company, that you also make sure to take care of and retain your current workforce. Rather than recruit and select new workers, another strategy is to train and develop your existing staff or do internal recruiting. Staffing is all about attracting, selecting, and retaining top talents. As there is a surplus of talented candidates, we are now focusing on retaining top talents after they enter the company. There are many proven approaches to handling retention. These include sourcing talent globally and establishing a diversity program. If you continue recruiting new employees while having an efficient retention program, you might face a situation where you have to cut down your workforce. To motivate employees and gain value from your existing workforce, it is important to offer them training and development opportunities. This allows for personal development and increased productivity. It is important to address the need for intercultural competence training when dealing with a global business environment. To address the need for leaders and managers with a global mindset and to broaden their knowledge about local country operations, many companies have begun sending their best managers to intensive management training programs. Performance assessment is a tool to both determine the productivity of a worker and create intrinsic motivation. You can adapt compensation levels fairly and receive feedback from employees about work practices. It creates openness between the employer and the employee and sets the tone for a productive work environment. There are 4 main benefits of global talent management. Better positioning in the war for talent is one of them. Another benefit is improved operational efficiency. Having an overarching talent strategy in place with appropriate support systems and processes equals time and cost savings. The third benefit of global talent management is improved people performance. If you lack an approach to talent and succession planning, chances are you're not making the most of the right people in the right roles at the right time. A structured approach to performance and talent management can result in increased productivity and efficiency, increased engagement, improved time to competence, and higher retention. This can also mean doing more with less, utilizing the talent that exists in the organization to lower costs and overall increase performance. Last but not least, decreased risk is another benefit. Improved line of sight over people and performance will enable you to monitor engagement and performance levels, helping you address poor performance and reduce turnover. Supporting talent and performance management technology will also allow for efficient identification and utilization of talent, making succession planning simple and accurate.
We hope you enjoyed the show.
You now have an understanding of the benefits and challenges of global talent management. The special discussed a few possible solutions to the problems presented and how human resources management is an important aspect to cope with these issues.
And now we go to the weather with our main assignment.